Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for a purpose, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. For uses of use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now let's start this dang show.
You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Klint Kubiak, a busy man. Not only is he preparing to call plays in the Super Bowl as the Seahawks offensive coordinator, but according to our Adam Schefter, he's also expected to be the Las Vegas Raiders' next head coach. No deal can, of course, be official until after the Super Bowl, but Klint Kubiak wants to coach the Raiders, and they want him, so we would expect that news next week. Raiders head coach turnover is something.
Annual tradition.
Yes, it's Klint Kubiak's going to be the Raiders' fifth full-time head coach in the last 6 seasons, dating back to John Gruden in 2021. Previous 3 hirings all failed to complete 2 seasons.
Pretty quick indeed, although they do have fair warning that Klint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL, is expected to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This is the one that the Las Vegas Raiders plan to hire. Now, there was some discussion about potentially the Seattle Seahawks keeping Kubiak. He is going to the Raiders. That is, in fact, the plan. And look, there's a lot to like about this Las Vegas Raiders situation. It's not just that Tom Brady is a limited partner. It's not just that they have some offensive weapons. It is also the fact that they are going to get the #1 overall selection. Fernando Mendoza likely is that pick. So a Klint Kubiak-Mendoza pairing certainly should make Las Vegas Raiders fans feel better heading into the future.
Yeah. No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
All right, what is up? So they got
I had mine for a while for the season, so.
Oh yeah, the Raiders. I feel like I'm loud. Maybe it's just my ears. Let's see. All right, yes, the Raiders. They seem to have their coach on a handshake deal. You know, so. They waited, and now they might have their guys on them. How do you feel about that?
I mean, if you take it, right, it was between us and Arizona the last 2. You heard things he wanted nothing to do with Arizona. He'd rather go back to Seattle, yada, yada, yada. All of a sudden, Arizona, right, gets their head coach. Now they got an offensive coordinator now, too, apparently. So, I mean, it almost seems to be, you know, almost a done deal. Maybe he has the contract on him, and as soon as the Super Bowl ends, he can sign it right then and there, and it can become official. Maybe he has to wait till Monday. I bet we don't hear nothing about it till like Thursday after the Super Bowl, just because it's just going to be something like that. But apparently, rumor has it, we have our guy, even the guy that most of us were wanting for once.
Yeah, and you called it last year. Well, before we hired Pete Carroll, you said, you know what, I think I want Klint Kubiak from the Saints. Yeah, I want that guy. So you called it 2 years ago, or before two, you know what it was, 2024 or 2025, but I don't know what year we're in anymore. So you called it. But we're gonna get into that
next year, that's all.
Yes. They started watching our episodes later. Okay. But before we get into that, I want to talk about what happened on Saturday. I know that everyone was waiting for the live to come on. Let's just say that what we were all trying to do, like just everyone who was involved with the Tom Flores thing, it was 20 something bars trying to all work at once. So there was a lot of bounce back and forth, whatever. But what the issue that was happening to me at Ricky's was, it was just a sound issue. We were trying to find a way to connect the sound to the speakers, and we only had an hour to try to set up everything. And when you only have an hour, and then everyone starts walking in, and then everyone is coming up to say hi to you, and you're trying to I felt like I was trying to put a bomb, like I was trying to dismantle a bomb, but the opposite, because I was trying to put it together. So it was all that, but because the sound wasn't going through the speakers, and we needed that for the guests there at the bar to hear everything, I ended up having to scratch the live feed. We got the sound right, like right on time, for the sound to go off at the Ricky. So I apologize to those who are waiting and watching. I felt bad. I felt like I lost the Super Bowl, because I'm all like, we're gonna do this, it's gonna be big. And then and everyone at the bar, they said, oh, you did a great job, da-da-da. But I'm all like, I'm not a moral victory guy. Because I wanted to send something for the people on our channel. So I just want to say, I am sorry, my bad. It was crazy. I didn't sit down. The only time I sat down that day was on the way to the bar to set up, and then back in the car on the way back home. So I stood up for about a good 9 hours, and my back was feeling it the next day. I was laying on my back on the floor all day the next day. So it's like I felt the pain inside and outside, emotionally and physically. And then I kept replaying everything that happened at the bar. I didn't even get a chance to meet anybody. I got to say hi to Gary Weaver, so I shook his hand, but I met him the night before, and he came over to the bar to help start the decoration. Him and his wife Sue, which I want to say thank you to Sue. She helped us out a lot. She had a lot of decoration for us. And then the next day I saw Raymond Chester. I was able to say, hey, what's up? But that was it. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself to Mrs. Madden. I didn't even see Mrs. Tatum. I saw John Kingdon across the way, but I didn't go up to him to shake his hand. So for me, the day for myself.
Tell me you didn't get my book autographed.
I didn't get no. Jessica took my 3 books, but she was only to get 1 autograph. But it was Virginia Madden, so at least I got Virginia Madden's autograph on a John Madden's book. So
now I know what I'm going to do next time I come see you.
But I just wanted to say, it was a hectic day. It was a hectic week leading up to that. So So
you know what? You were dealing with the lie. You were getting it done. You got the important part done, and you had the show, and you guys ready to do what the whole point of it was, and that was so everyone could acknowledge the coach. You know, Tom Flores. You got it done. That was the important part.
Yeah.
So,
but Jessica did put together a video. She finished it today. So I'm gonna play that real quick. It's a little kind of, you know, it summarizes the good times of Saturday, because I was in the background like, but no one saw that. I hope not. So I'm gonna play this video real quick. This is what she made. So here we go.
Rapping for the Raiders, all day, every day. It's that silver and black in your face. We rapping for the Raiders, no matter where they go. Pulling up rains in our snow. We rapping for the Raiders, all day, every day. It's that silver and black in your face. We rapping for the Raiders, no matter where they go. Pulling up rains in our snow.
All right, you guys, if you're not standing already, can you please stand?
I would like to share my pride and joy. You're Raider Oath. Because we've been battered and bruised. And we've moved. Tom and I go way back to when Tom was a receiver coach, and then he moved on to be head coach, and I got the benefit of pretty much all of his knowledge as a coach. I mean,
score a touchdown and throw the ball in the crowd. Don't be a hater, don't even play. You know who gon' win? The Battle of the Bay. Beers from the streets, dirt on our cleats. Number 145, Reese is a beast. We gon' go for it. 4th and 5. Goal line. Die. We ain't no traitors. DJ hit the fader. We are the Oakland Raiders. Tailgating at a home game. For one. Tailgating at a home game. Going down. Peace. I'ma see you later. Peace. I'ma see you later. Peace. I'ma see you later. Oh yeah. We are Oakland. Silver and black light. In the town light.
Alrighty. So
good job, Jessica. I like that. You deserve a round of applause for that video right there. Good job.
We have that button here. That button's right here. Hey, so
I want to give her a real one, not that fake shit.
I mean, it was. I'm like, look at Kate. The people who missed, the people who who's waiting for the live stream. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was also waiting too, because I was trying to put that last. We were trying to figure. You know what it was like? It was like in Back to the Future. At the end of the movie. Okay, if you haven't seen Back to the Future, spoiler, I don't care. That movie is 40 years old. It's the same age as me. So, Back to the Future, when they get there to the clock tower, Marty has to go back in time, and then the plug. So now Doc Brown got to be on the clock. So I was over here like trying to, come on, man, we got to hurry up because we're out of time. Let's go. And then finally, Tom Flores, hey. Oh, I was facing the clock, man, and I got the I got the event saved for the people there, but I apologize for those who are waiting, and I didn't even have time to try to send a message, because I was literally like going through my two computers trying to get all this thing set up, and it was.
Don't worry, you won't have that handled.
Yeah, I know. I saw. She told me, but yeah, it was. stuff that I knew what was going to happen, and I tried to over prepare for it.
It was out of your control. Don't worry about it. Stop dwelling on it. You put on a hell of an event, and that's what matters right there.
Yes. So
the rest of us, you know what? We'll yell at you later in private.
But hey, I'm ready for a new life. Okay, I'm ready to do it again. Okay, I am not discouraged. I'm gonna try it again. I don't know when the next event will be, but with everything that was going on, it was a lot. Okay, and I had a whole plan and everything. So it was just think of. Nah, that's a bad example. I was going to use Super Bowl 37, but never mind. No one went to Tijuana after the whole thing changed up. Okay, so we were all safe. All right. Okay, here we go. Now back to the actual program. All right, here we go. Now the Raiders Asylum. The Raiders. Well, actually, let's just go through the whole carousel that we went through the last month or so. So here we go. Here are all the twists and turns of the carousel, or the up and downs of the horses and all that, whatever. Okay. Now 2025, the head coaches. Sean McDermott was the last coach to get fired. So we're going to go in order from nearest to, I don't know. We're just going to read it down. Sean McDermott was fired after that. Up and down and up, whatever. Sean McDermott was let go from the Bills, 25 season. They lost to the Broncos, and he gets fired. Joe Brady gets elevated to become the head coach he was their offensive coordinator.
I'm hearing a lot of Bills fans are not happy with that.
But it's like Brady. But it's like when we traded John Gruden away back in 2000 and after the 2001 season. And now Davis, instead of going for a whole new coach, man, I think that was more the players. Like, we ain't got time to try to put a new coach in. We're all old. This is our only shot. We were just in the championship game 2 seasons ago. Let's just elevate Bill Callahan. Okay, Bill Callahan, let's go. Got to the Super Bowl. And I don't want to talk about it after that. So it makes sense, though. It makes sense. You're the offensive coordinator. You just got to get shore up that defense, but you keep the same philosophy when it comes to the offense. You're not having them take a year of adjusting to a new coach or whatever. So that one makes sense. Mike Tomlin resigns, taken over by Mike McCarthy. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was a surprise. One, because the usually, they didn't really have too many coaches, but the Steelers, Tomlin wasn't from within, but they usually always go with like a new guy, like a brand new first-time head coach. Okay, boom, there you go. Just take what we built and just go with it. Okay. No, they went with Mike McCarthy. So Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl.
Based off of your assessment right there, right? You think they had to go that way? They weren't ready to promote from within because Mike Tomlin surprised even them.
Yeah, and then I don't who was I don't even know I forgot who their offensive coordinator was, but I mean, but they I guess they got Mike McCarthy to try to help persuade Rodgers to stay. Hey, come on, man, one more year. Mike McCarthy. You guys were there in the Green Bay, man. Just do one more. Get a ring. Go home. Yeah. Mike McDaniel's replaced. Mike McDaniel goes to to Los Angeles Chargers to go be their OC, replaced by Jeff Hafley. So defensive guy goes to Miami. John Harbaugh, he gets fired from the Ravens. He goes to New York to be their head coach. He's replaced by Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator from Los Angeles Chargers. Jonathan Gannon gets replaced by Mike LaFleur. That was the second to last hiring in the carousel. Mike LaFleur takes over for the Cardinals. And of course, the one that we're all waiting for to become finalized.
To become official.
Official, yes. It's all on a handshake. Klint Kubiak. Now, like I said, Asylum, you said this before we hired Pete. We said, I think we should go for the Saints OC. I like that guy. Look what he did with Carr. Why? Like, how did you?
And at the point, we also used Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
You know, at that point, we were talking about what he did with Kirk Cousins, and then what he was doing with Derek Carr before his injury.
So, explain to folks how you had it right. Well, wait. Let's not go ahead of ourselves, Kane. Explain to everybody what you were sensing in 2025. Now that we have Klint Kubiak now in 2020, so now he, you know, he took Sam Darnold, got him to the Super Bowl, so they play this weekend to the Super Bowl. But what were you said Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr? But like, what were you sensing? What were you sensing?
I mean, it was really
insiders inside
about it. What we had going on offense was before. I believe it was even before we had Minshew. We might have had Minshew when we were discussing this going, but we had O'Connell. We were going. It was to work with the quarterbacks, work with the offense. We thought we had a better offensive line than what we did. We found out how bad it was. It was working with the offense and everything going. We had Patrick Graham solid at that point. There was no back and forth. Was he going to be around? We were talking about keeping Patrick Graham. Defense was playing, finally playing well. It was just what he was able to do with these quarterbacks, and at the time, that's what we were missing. Really, we still had Devontae. We had just got rid of Carr. What was it? The 2 years before that, year before that, whatever it was, and going. So it was really just what was going on. He was that up and coming name. It was a name you kept hearing about, the work he was able to do with the quarterbacks on, as a coordinator and going. And it was like, so it was, we needed that fresh blood. I kept saying it. I didn't want these older guys. We wanted something new, fresh, and I wanted that offensive mind. I wanted that offense. I mean, Ben Johnson was the same way, when the possibility was there. We had lost him. Klint Kubiak was kind of that second choice, He was that up-and-coming name, just like Johnson was, with what he did with the Lions. I just was kind of going down that line again. It was the shit you see.
Yeah, and we didn't do that. We didn't go that route. We decided, you know what, we're gonna go after. Actually, we're gonna go after Ben Johnson because Tom Brady likes Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson said, "Okay, I'll take a meeting." Everyone was all like, "We're gonna get Ben Johnson. Let's go." He went to the Bears, and then when they were Pete Carroll, that's why we're like, let's just wait. Let's just wait. It looks like everything has been gentleman's agreement. I guess you can say.
I had a question for you here. Have we ever waited this long to bring in a head coach? I mean, we brought in a lot of them, but have we ever gone to the point, being one of the last teams, waited this long to make sure we got our guy, or have we always done a panic hire?
I don't think we waited this long because we never had a coach. We never went to hire a coach that was coming fresh off the Super Bowl. Usually this week is where we announce our coach. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the new head coach of the Raiders, so-and-so and so-and-so. That's usually this week. So, no, we always, I want to say it was always a panic hire, but it was always like, let's just make sure we get our guy. Okay. I guess that's the definition of panic hire.
He was our guy. I really don't even think Pete Carroll was our second choice. I don't even think he was the third choice. I think it was just what we should get. That last kid picked for sports? That was Pete Carroll. Fine, we'll take him. I mean, that's what it felt like.
I do remember when Pete Carroll came in, it was like, okay, well, I get it. Older, been around the league, had success for a long time with Seattle. I guess for the most part, rebuilt Seattle because Seattle wasn't really anything. I know Mike Holmgren took them to a playoff in like a 7-9 team or 8-8 team, whatever. when the NFC West was horrible. But I was like, okay, you know what? We haven't tried this. A coach has been there, done that, and actually had success. We had a lot of retreads. But this guy's okay. He did something okay. But and then when you would hear like leading up to the season, when they would have the interviews with the position coaches, and they're like, oh yeah, man, Pete Carroll, man, the way his energy is like, he's just, and they were all smiling like, okay, so they're bought in. Okay. And then it all went out the window and we went, it just every podium press conference was just the same, recycled, and no one took accountability. So let's just leave that in the past. But I'm hoping that with this new I'm hoping that when we do officially sign him after the Super Bowl, that excitement for fresh new blood, not retread, a new guy, and there's like a new type, not a Pete Carroll old man energy. Okay, I want a new, young, offensive guru energy. It's gonna, for a fact that the offense is going to be his. It's not going to be I'm running it and then I'm going to get this guy who's going to we're going to collaborate. No. It's going to be his. Now, is he going to call plays or not? Most likely, probably, but maybe we'll see what happens. But it's going to be his offense, because that's the one thing that we haven't had since 2021. Really, is a decent offense, like a good offense that can score points. Now we're going to be having a new defense, because Patrick Graham is officially signed with the Steelers to be their DC. But that is when all this is said and done. Yeah. Well, all this is said and done.
But isn't this what we need, right? You talked about it last week. We've finally been hearing the word of rebuild. It's not a refresh, anything. It's a complete rebuild. And as much as I hate saying it, is it a rebuild if you bring Patrick Graham back? Now, I'd love Patrick Graham coming in as our head coach. We've talked about that before. But a rebuild is, you kind of blow things up. I mean, this is even coming to Ed's comment here, not much improvement next year, 4 to 5 wins, and I'm fine with that if that happens. Because right now, in a rebuild, he's going to be stuck with a lot of players that he necessarily would not have brought in, that do not necessarily fit his schemes. He's going to have the draft. He's going to have free agency, but you're not going to be able to completely blow up this team and build a winning team from there. He's got to see what he wants to keep, who he could work with, stuff like that. So I'm perfectly fine with that, Ed. That's part of a rebuild. That's what you want. The thing is, all the other Raiders fans out there, when this starts happening, you can't start calling for his head. You can't say, fire Klint. I want a new coach. Everything else like that. You got to give the man the time now. We got our coach. We got the guy we wanted. And when I say we, I'm talking about us here on the Cage Match, okay? I know others may have wanted somebody else. There was the Harbaughs, and then, McDermott's maybe even. So when I say us, I'm talking about here on the Cage Match. We got our coach. Now, Mark Davis, if you're fucking listening, give him the time. I hope Klint is putting in there a no firing clause until after year 3, year 4, something like that, because that's what we're going to need. We are going to have that down year, just like Ed Winchell is predicting right here. We're going to have it. What we want to see is that improvement in year 2, right?
Yeah.
We want to see 7, 8 wins in year 2. Year 3 is where we're talking about winning seasons, possibly, being able to fight for a playoff spot. Maybe even can we even say it, winning the division. But we're still talking about year 3. Do not expect a, Bears situation or Jaguars situation, shit like that, where it's going to be 1 year and all of a sudden they're in playoffs doing all this spectacular stuff, because we could, like you said in the intro, right? We could expect. I'd put, if I was in Vegas, I'd put the money down. We are 98% sure we are going to be drafting Mendoza. Not necessarily what I want to do, but you know what? I can expect it. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. Mendoza is not going to come in and save this team. It was not a quarterback away from being a dominant team. Shit like that. So get Mendoza. Let's get everything going, and let's give it the time. Don't expect a quick turnaround, and we're going to take off and be, the 2016 Raiders, where nobody saw this shit coming, and all of a sudden we're winning, 5 games in a row and just dominating. Let's just be realistic.
On the East Coast at home, we're winning games on the East Coast. In the East Coast, Well, that was Del Rio's second season when we came out of nowhere. When 12 and 4. But see, I might be making my own Kool-Aid. I don't know. Might be tequila in it. I don't know. But see, I don't think that there's that much like we're already going to be, if you're talking about rebuild, I think we're already down to the frame. If you're talking about a rebuild, I say like a car, okay? We're already down to the frame. So because that's the wrong one. Because we have a lot of guys on free agency. That's gonna, that's Raiders gotta decide if they want to keep or not. We went through this list a couple weeks ago. On the offensive side, guys like Dylan Parham, which I'm ready to move on from. Tyler Lockett, he ain't coming back. I like Alex Bachman. I like him. Keep him on there. Punt return or a fourth receiver, fifth receiver. He's a tough dude, but it's going through. There's going to be a lot of changes. So it's not like, and I get what you're saying is I had to come in, then I got to see who fits my scheme, who I got to work with on this year, but next year I'm going to replace. There's a lot of key guys on that list who the Raiders don't have to decide. They could be like, well, you know what? I'm going to decide now. I saw the tape last year. So I don't think that there'll be a strip.
And that's true in some of this case. With what you're saying, that you'll be able to go off the tape, but there might be some, foresight. We don't know what's going to happen with him. He may come back, he may not, because that's somebody you might be able to get at a cheap deal. That's the thing. If you're going to go out and get Mendoza, if you're sticking with Aiden O'Connell to sit Mendoza behind and for him to learn, whatever situation goes on.
But what no one's thinking about? Kubiak was going to work with Mr. the Bird, our quarterback, Geno Smith, last year before the Raiders made that trade. What happens, or what if the Raiders decide, well, we're already paying him that much money, talking about Geno Smith, Kubiak was going to work with him because Kubiak got signed to the Seahawks to be their OC before Geno Smith left to come to the Raiders. And then they got Sam Darnold, and look where we are now. But what if, and I'm not trying to put bad juju out there, Kate. That's not part of my Kool-Aid.
Bad juju out there, and I'm gonna find a way to get this nail right through the camera into your eye.
But it's not me.
Last time your bad juju came. No, last time you put juju out there, it came back. Can't say it ain't you.
Hold on, we haven't talked about that yet. That will be later on the show. 33 AD. What's up, Rome? Are you new? Because if you're new, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I remember a lot of these names that show up. Like Alex. What is up, Alex? He has been around for the last couple of weeks, so we appreciate everyone watching.
Last few weeks, more than a couple.
Well, yeah, like towards the end of the season. So I remember all these names that pop up. I remember the names that don't show up anymore. Okay, yeah, I know names now that I can. I don't know names. If you tell me, I won't know names. But if I can see them on the screen, because I'm a visual person. But I'm telling you,
I'll even go this far. Even with dilapidated Geno Smith, right? I honestly don't think it's going to be a carryover. It's different when you're coming in as the OC and having to work with the quarterback, and then coming in as the head coach and getting to choose your quarterback. I will put money, and I will be perfectly fine with this. I'd rather start a hurt Fernando Mendoza over Geno Smith. But I get where you're going. And it still ties into what I was going to say, which is work on that offensive line. Okay?
Yes.
Watch your tape. If you have anybody there that you're okay with and could work with and everything else like that, go ahead and keep them. Go, put Jackson Powers Johnson back at center, or at least put him on the left side if you're going to do anything like I had suggested. But work on that O-line. You need it for the run game. You need it for whoever your quarterback's going to be. An aging Geno Smith who can't fucking run, forgot how to run. Aiden O'Connell, who has his moments, right? He has his moments, but is primarily a pocket passer. And Fernando Mendoza, who is also a, for the most part, a pocket passer, which happens to be Klint Kubiak's style of quarterback. He likes those pocket passers. He doesn't like those mobile quarterbacks. He doesn't want a quarterback that's going to run all the time. He wants somebody who's smart enough to sit back in the pocket, read a defense and slice it apart. That's the Klint Kubiak style. But you have to have an offensive line to give that quarterback time.
Yeah.
And let plays develop in order to be able to do that.
I'm just saying is the Raiders didn't spend no money last year. And that's why I had that graphic up, because we have a lot of money this year. And I mean, get rid of him. I know it's
and that number is actually off. They're talking about this year, teams getting extra, I believe it was $22 million.
Yeah, so I gotta update that then. We got a boost in our pay. Not us though. Not us as a show.
Hold on, wait, we get paid?
Yeah. Well, y'all getting paid? But I mean, so that would have to be updated, of course, for the new inflation. I don't know. Anyways, but I mean, you take the money, the extra money the NFL's giving you, and you send them away. Like, Geno Smith, it was nice knowing you, but you can go back to the Jets and end it all where it all started, because they need a quarterback if they don't get one in this draft too. But I'm just saying is that
you think we get our third round back?
Huh?
You think we get our third round back for Geno, or are we gonna have to settle for a fifth?
No, like cars, quarterbacks, once they leave the lot, okay. It's just that's no. I mean, I wish we could, lemon laws, but that's in California, not in Vegas. No, I don't know what the Vegas laws when it comes to lemons.
He didn't even get out of the parking lot of the dealership before he broke down.
No. He actually, the first game he did decent. So it's like you got me home and then you broke down. Now I can't start it. Oh my God. Now I'm stuck at home. I got to call in sick because it don't work no more. I know I should have stuck with the other car. Anyways.
It made me beat up, but it still got me from point A to B.
He tried. The car tries a little engine that could. But I'm just saying is that's something that don't be surprised if it's like, no, if Geno's still in contract, we'll go with like this, okay? Like this. Raiders go in. Klint Kubiak signs with the Raiders. I'm going to be the quarterback. They'll probably give him 4 years at a 5 with the 5th option, or maybe 5 years, whatever, guaranteed, because they know that they're not going to fire him. No matter if he goes 0-17, they know that they're not going to fire. The Raiders know that they're not going to fire him because you got to allow him to work. Okay, so now first year. All right, quarterbacks. Let's see. We have Geno Smith is still in the books. We have Aiden O'Connell who being in his last year of eligibility, last year of his rookie contract. And then, okay, we got the draft coming up. Okay, draft comes up. Raiders select Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana. Okay. All right. They got him. All right. Now we got 3 quarterbacks. Got Geno Smith still in the books. Aiden O'Connell last year of his contract as a rookie contract, and now the rookie number 1 overall pick. Okay. This is what's going to happen. All right. Just like it happened, and I'm not trying to tie him into the guy that we had the first time, the only time we took a quarterback number 1 overall in 2007. Okay. We're not going to say his name. Not going to tie them together, but do you remember that? We aren't going to go back. I mean, even the NFL don't acknowledge him, so we're not going to acknowledge him either, okay? So remember, in that year, I believe it was one of the McCown brothers started that season. And he wasn't too bad. He didn't do too bad, but because he wasn't the guy that we drafted, he threw like 1 or 2 interceptions. The whole stadium, I'm not going to say his name, but bring him in. I'm not going to say his name.
But, that's the only thing Gino's going to be able to teach him how to do is throw interceptions.
Just like this. Boo, get him out the field. All right, good job. Because he ain't gonna have a coach that's gonna be like, no. After a while, we just practice on the field. He really wants to go out there and show his teammates that he has the heart and the will to really want to show out there and shut up. Okay. So then you're gonna have O'Connell's next, and then if anything happens with that, okay, whatever. And then it's gonna be Fernando Mendoza, let's say by week 5. Week 5, okay? We'll give you the first quarter of the season, Geno Smith, if he's still on the team. But I think I can see that being a scenario where the Raiders be like, okay, we still got a lot of money on this quarterback that we, like you said, wasted a 3rd-round pick to bring him over here. We were misled and all that.
Signed him to a, what was it, $70-something million contract extension?
Yeah, 2-year extension with an option of a 3rd. So, I wouldn't like it at all.
But you know what? Though?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't see that happening because we save money by cutting him than we do by keeping him.
I know, but I don't know how this. We're gonna learn now.
His ass to get the 7th-round pick. Because you know what? I'd rather take Mr. Irrelevant. I don't give a fuck who it is than have Geno Smith on the damn team.
None of us want him on a team.
He's a cancer. He's a cancer.
I don't know. I'm just saying. But I think that with this team coming up, okay, the team has already been stripped down because all the starters from last year, a lot of the starters from last year on both sides of the field will be free agents this coming or in this offseason right now coming up. And I believe free agent starts in March. It was like March 11th or March 13th. So that first, second week of March. So that's only in the that's coming up. I gotta start making graphics.
Kubiak will be busy. He's gonna come back from the Super Bowl and happen to get started like that.
If the Raiders were still in Oakland, he could have just won the Super Bowl and then just drive up 880. All right, guys, here we go. I'm here. I was already here. I packed my bags. We already got a apartment in the hood.
We got a hotel, whatever. Yeah, we're good.
Staying at the Oakland Hilton that's no longer there, to the Coliseum that's no longer really active, to the Oakland Raiders that's no longer there. I'm ready, guys. Where are we at? That's what the Pete Carroll would do. Anyways, I'm lost. Anyways, let's talk about the guy himself. Okay, Klint Kubiak's coaching bio. Started off as an offensive assistant, Texas A&M, 2010 to 2011, offensive quality control coach, Texas A&M. He became the graduate assistant the next year, 2012. Minnesota Vikings, his first NFL job, 2013 to 2014, offensive quality control coach. Kansas goes back to college, 2015, wide receivers coach, comes back to the NFL. Denver Broncos, 2016 to 2018, offensive assistant under his father, the other Kubiak.
Gary.
I forgot the first name. Gary. I was going to say Glenn. That's not even his, whatever. He was starting with a G. Goes to Minnesota, 2019 to 2020 quarterbacks coach. Then he becomes the offensive coordinator in 2021 for the same Minnesota Vikings. Goes back to Denver, 2022 passing game coordinator and the quarterbacks coach. Goes to the Niners for a year, passing coordinator 2023. They had Purdy there. And Sam Darnold. That's the tie-in right there. So he already knew of Sam Darnold when he came over to Seattle. New Orleans, he worked with Carr in 2024 as offensive coordinator. And then, of course, he's in the Super Bowl with the Seahawks as offensive coordinator with the Sam Darnold that we talked about. And Asylum, this right here, this interesting list right here, is the quarterbacks that he's worked with, not dealt with. Okay. Maybe Russell Wilson's dealt with.
I know, I was going to say, Russell Wilson might have been dealt with.
Dealt with, you know. He gave me this it's talking about a Seattle quarterback that spent a lot of money to get and then had to go and cut him. So hey, maybe you saw what happened with the Broncos, but guys like Kirk Cousins, like you mentioned in the beginning of the show, Brock Purdy, you know, and that was his second year. Who came in 2022, so that was his second year. They went to the Super Bowl that year, and then Derek Carr when he went to go to the Saints after. The Raiders, his 9-year Raiders stint, and then Sam Darnold. Aside, I'm looking at this list. I mean, these are veteran quarterbacks, though. But when Brock Purdy,
other than that mobile quarterback, like we talked about earlier, you know, I mean, those are numbers that you can live with, right? I mean, we'll start with Cousins. Turn Cousins around, 4,200 yards, you know, passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Brock Purdy, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Derek Carr, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Darnold, now his interception rate's up there a little bit, but still 25 and 14. The passing rating. I mean, the yards in it. I mean, again, the Sam Darnold part scares me, but that's not on Kubiak. Because that's Darnold making bad decisions, forcing things. But again, it's still where they at right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the Bay Area getting ready to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Get me to the Super Bowl, I could forgive 14 interceptions.
We don't like that number.
Well, it's still more. I mean, if we bring up Geno Smith, doesn't he have more interceptions than he does touchdowns for the season?
No, it was close.
Okay, no, that's basically what I just said. Okay,
but he missed the game though. He could have did it. He could have did it. I had faith. He could have did
it. They're putting up points. They also have a run game, and that's helped them a lot as well. When you go back to Minnesota, they had a run game that complemented Kirk Cousins, but Cousins was, what was making it happen and go. So, I mean, this is what we see. He was able to game plan. He's able to go. He's able to score points. It shows in the TD category.
Yeah.
He's able, to put game plans together to score points. So, and that's something we've been lacking for the last 2 years. Being able to score points. We barely get over 20 fucking points.
19 was our that was our bar. All right, guys. If we can hit 20, we should be able to make it a game. Not win. Make it a game. It looks nice on paper.
So, I mean, it's a change. The changing of the guard in the NFL seems to be these younger coaches, different thinking. We're not going to say just offense because there's a lot of defensive guys who got hired as head coaches this year. But, it's this younger, coach. It's this different thinking. It's the game is evolving on the field, and you need the coaches to come in and be able to do that. And that's when it comes with these younger coaches, not these older coaches who keep coming in and wanting to do just their way because their way worked, 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
So it worked then. So it's going to work now. It's not working.
So now, I mean, I know a lot of folks, we're all happy we got Klint Kubiak, but he has no head coaching experience. And if you saw that list, not even like in college, whatever, it doesn't go all the way back to high school, whatever. He was young. He came out and he was in college. He was doing a thing, whatever. So he'll be running a whole team. Raiders. But his dad, yeah, and he worked under his dad. So, it worked for the Broncos. And it worked for us last year.
He has an idea of what it takes. It's not completely new. It's not a foreign concept to him, like it was with AP, right? Barely even started coaching. Klint has been around it his whole fucking life.
Yeah.
And that does give him a slight advantage when it comes to being that new first-time head coach, in my opinion. You do have somewhat of an advantage. Because that was something like Gruden, right? Gruden had, I don't think his dad ever was a head coach, but his dad coached for years.
No, he was a scout. I think he was a scout for the Buccaneers for a long time.
No, his dad was a defensive coach.
I don't remember.
Anyways,
I read the book and then that was like a long time ago. I got to read it.
Gruden was around all this shit growing up. There is,
AP's dad was never coach either.
The point I'm trying to make is it's going to be new. It's going to be different because he's never had to, do all this. But he has somebody to lean on, right? His dad. He has experience growing up. He has an idea of what it takes, how much work's going to be in. He's not going to get blindsided by how much work it takes to be a head coach. Realizing, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do that. I didn't realize I was in charge of this. I got to go here. And, to Peggy's point before throughout the season, it seems like the GM is going to be the one in charge this time. A second-year GM, but the GM is going to be in charge.
And that's what I was saying is that this year we're going to see now Spytek's the way his philosophy when it comes to personnel, players, and all that, whatever. Because we didn't see that last year. He just kind of sat in the back room like, okay, Tom Brady, Pete Carroll. You guys, I'm just taking notes. Now he's the guy. So we're going to see. And that's why I'm all like, I don't know what he's going to do when it comes to the situation at quarterback, meaning the situation that was a starting quarterback last year, which is Geno Smith. But going to first-time head coaches, Raiders, their history when it comes to first-time head coaches, we're going to go all the way back to John Madden because the coaches before there, they were all first-time head coaches because the NFL, the AFL at the time, was new too. So we're going to start at Madden, youngest coach in the league. 32, 1969, 10 seasons. He got one Super Bowl out of 8 chances in the playoffs. Tom Flores succeeded him. He was a first-time head coach at age 42, 1979. He has 2 Super Bowls and the 5 chances he went to the playoffs. Shout out to Tom Flores. We just celebrated him the other day. And then you got and those are guys that were promoted from within. John Madden was a linebackers coach. He went to go replace John Ross, not Walsh. John Ross with an R. Al Davis gave him, the opportunity to coach, and he became one of the greatest coaches of all time. Had the highest winning percentage of his era, of that golden era of coaches. And we all know all the coaches that were in that era that we had to face every year in the playoffs. Chuck Noll. So Tom Flores comes in, takes that team to Super Bowls. And then this is where it starts to get muddy. Mike Shanahan, who I believe came from the Niners organization, Al Davis made him a first-time head coach. He didn't mesh well with the players. Al Davis let him go after 4 games in the second season. Art Shell was the interim, but Al Davis gave him a shot the following year. Art Shell did pretty well in his first tenure. We're only talking about first tenures now. First tenure. But Al Davis lets him go right before the move back to Oakland. Mike White, who was I believe was a head coach for Cal Berkeley, but became a first-time head coach in the NFL. lasted 2 seasons. It was a, iffy. Did 2 seasons. They had the 8-2 year in '95, the first year in Oakland, then they just collapsed. And then the next year it was a 7-9. So he went to Joe Bugle, which I believe he was the offensive line coach for Mike White. Joe Bugle went 4-12. That didn't work out. John Gruden worked out. We all remember John Gruden, his first tenure. He came from the Philadelphia Eagles as their offensive coordinator, came to the Raiders. A young offensive guru, and that's who we've all been chasing, is a young guy who's going to just turn this team around. He went 8-8 his first 2 seasons, then went 12-4, and that's where we lost to the Ravens, which should have been a flag on Siragusa, but we all remember that game. And then Callahan took over when John Gruden was traded. Callahan came over 11-5 his first year, went to the Super Bowl that year, lost to John Gruden, and then went 4-12. And then that's where it even got worse. Lane Kiffin, Tom Cable, Hugh Jackson, Dennis Allen, and Antonio Pierce. Asylum. It's a lot. Luckily, we're not going through all the coaches that we've gone through since.
God damn.
Yeah. So
we don't got tired.
But
that'll be a 6-hour show.
But I mean, he would fall into the line of Raiders giving another head coach. Another coach an opportunity to be a head coach for the first time in the NFL. He is 38. He is 38 currently, so he'll be one of the younger head coaches. He'll be the youngest in the AFC West with all the guys that we have.
That's easy,
so yeah. So this is that's true. So this is a guy who can be that long-term, long tenured 10-year guy if it all works out, if we're all patient.
Or even like a Mike Tomlin or something, I mean, if he can succeed, there's a chance for him, to be being a head coach for a long, long time. And that's where we need to be getting into. Again, we talked about it. When we found out about Pete Carroll, why are we hiring a guy that's got only 3 years, maybe, I mean, there's no long term there. You can't be bringing in a guy because then you're going to be right where we are in the 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a win. That's an Al Davis move right there where it's win now because all I care about is this year.
Yeah.
And, look at how it worked out for us. What was that? I just saw.
Flacco.
Well, there was a rule change.
I don't know which the rule change
Flacco
it is.
Take on rule change. Veteran QB says NFL players signed up to get hurt.
Really?
That's coming from Flacco. He's old too.
I didn't know that. All the flags they be throwing, I didn't know that. Anyways. But I mean, I feel we needed this, okay? We needed this. We needed just a clean, fresh, new coach. This we're not rebuilding, we're retooling. We're not rebuilding, we're reloading. We're not rebuilding, whatever. No, we're not rebuilding, we're retarded. Okay? Let's just start it over and go from there. Okay, you got a new fresh coach, and most likely a fresh new quarterback will come in. They'll be tied together. Young GM in his second year, still trying to figure out who's really in charge, him or Tom Brady. But if everything goes well and Klint signs and everything, and it's all said and done, then we can start to worry about what type of players are going to come in. They need to spend the money though, and they need to spend that money on that offensive line.
Anna brought it up. What's next? We got to see who our offensive coordinator is, who our defensive coordinator is going to be. Because I mean, that there's also going to tell you what kind of players you're bringing in. I bet you Klint Kubiak is going to have a lot of say with the offense. Being an offensive, mind, he's assuming he just doesn't take over the offensive coordinator job himself. That's even a possibility.
Yeah,
he's going to be head coach and offensive coordinator. So, We have to wait and see what's going on. And it all starts with getting pen to paper with Klint Kubiak.
I'm not opposed to him calling his own plays, because you know who's the guy really, putting the game plan together and who's making the calls. Because for the last couple of years, like with Getsy,
and then nobody to blame if it doesn't work. You can't blame somebody else.
Yeah, and I know we had that
plays I wanted.
Yeah, and I know we had that with McDaniels. But he's just an offensive coordinator, and that's all he's going to be. But with a rebuild, also Asylum, comes some disgruntledness left behind from the previous regime. Asylum, I'm going to need you to play the intro of the rumors because we got to get into that. So let's get that going. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day.
Old school.
Yeah, we all got banned in 5 countries for that one.
Yes, in Afghanistan, okay? Always getting banned. All right. Okay, now to what the news, not broke, it wasn't broke or it wasn't breaking news, but it's just more like what everyone's talking about. So we're going to talk about it too. Before I play the video, I just want to say we just signed him to an extension last season. And now we're going through this again. And what's the point of even having contracts? But anyways, here we go. This is Jay Glazer talking about what he feels could happen with Max Crosby. Yes, it's about Max Crosby. Here we go.
I remember Ian Rappaport the team went to him and said, "Oh, Max Crosby, we're going to do right by him. We're going to shut him down, and we're really going to protect him from him." And then Max is on the other line going, "Man, screw these guys. They're shutting me down. I am not about this. Hell no, I'm not doing it. I left the facility. I'm out. I want to get traded. I'm done." And I was kind of trying to talk him off a ledge. And then I went to GM John Spytek. I'm like, "Spy, you got to understand. There's a couple guys. If they tell you they're playing, they're playing. It's not open for discussion. They're playing. There's certain guys, they need it, right? And for a guy like Max, who he's an addict, he's addiction issues, he needs structure. You can't do that to him, right? So I want you guys to look at it. You can still go for your first pick, but it can't involve him. And this is why I'm so tied in the league. Like these GMs and head coaches will come. It's my 35th year. They'll come to me with this stuff, And Max, that wasn't good.
Do you think his time with the Raiders is done?
I do.
Okay. Before the draft?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Is there a landing spot that makes sense in your opinion?
A ton of them. I'm not going to say what it is yet because I'm going to try and help it out.
Sure. What kind of haul do you think realistically a Max Crosby gets in general?
He probably more than Micah. So the day it happened, no less than 20 teams called me and asked, "Dude, is this real? Can we get him? What's it for?" I'm like, "God, we're not there yet, but yes, it's real."
Do you think his time with the Raiders is done because that's a Raiders decision or because that's a Max Crosby decision?
They didn't want to do it. But he was just like, "I'm not going through another rebuild." And like he and the owner are very close. It's a really cool relationship. They legitimately love each other. And he went and talked to him about it and said, "I promise you I'll always be a Raider, but I don't want to go through another rebuild. I've done everything I can for this team." But also, remember I just said, if I'm hurt and tired, you'll never know. It's your honor to fight hurt. It's your honor to fight hurt. And he, you got to let him do that. It makes him feel like a gangster. And you can't take that from him. He's different. So I think the haul for him will be more than Micah.
Now, that's what Jay Glazer said. And people were saying, hey, like, what teams could be the one? Here's this little clip by Diana Rossellini, writer. So here's what she has to say. A little quick little 20-second. Here we
But
go.
as for this upcoming offseason, outside just free agency, the thing that I'm going to be watching are these players that perhaps want trades. That's what I want to see. Max Crosby doesn't seem too happy in Las Vegas. Is he going to ask for one officially and ask out? Is that a guy? I can tell you, I know he wants to play for Mike Vrabel. He's told me before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another Raider going to the Patriots. Is that what's supposed to happen? We were the Patriot way in Las Vegas. Now it's going to be the Raider way in New England Asylum.
Well, I don't know. First of all, I'm going to disagree with Jay Glazer over there on part of it. Okay, what did Max Crosby end up having at the end of the season?
Surgery.
So that tells me the injury was bad enough that, you know, there are times you have to protect a player from himself. Because, yes, Max Crosby is one of those players. They will go out there, you know, as long as they're walking, they're playing. But if he needed surgery and he was shut down, what happens in those games that he plays? Okay. And now that injury permanently affects him. And he's no longer playing at the level he has been playing at the last few years.
Yeah.
I agree with the shutdown. Those so-called wins, if they would have came up, are what everyone would be calling pointless wins. That's what we had last year, right? That's what it was said. These are all pointless wins. So you put Max Crosby in there, you possibly win the game. Then everyone's pissed off because you don't have the first round pick. Percy, the number one overall pick. Percy, I give a flying fuck on that one. Okay, but you have to protect the players, and Max Crosby is one of those players. Okay, he had to. It wasn't like it was. Oh, I tweaked an ankle. I could have played. You know, it was like a high ankle sprain or something. No, he went out and had surgery. You don't let players dictate shit when you're the head coach. Plain and simple. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I was saying, and it's funny that AP did the same thing at the end of the 2024 season. He had shut him down. Now that injury was more worse because he had the ankle sprain and then the, you know, all that was going on. But, and he said it. That's why I like AP. Sometimes just shut your mouth, okay? Because we showed this clip a few weeks ago where he's all like, well, I wouldn't tell him. Like, you went on the podium and said sometimes a player, you have to protect the player from the player. You just said that, you know, because that mentality, that Spartan mentality, you know, from the movie, you know, to die to die at war is like an honor, you know. Yeah. So, but
come home on your shield.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, yeah, I get it, and we all I played, you know, I played with after my football career was done, I tried to have that same mentality in softball. I tried to play with I dove for a ball in center field, and I had it in my glove until I bounced off the grass on my rib, and the ball bounced off, and I was mad. I was more mad that I missed the ball because I had it in my glove, but I had this bruise in my rib, and I was still trying to swing, and they took me out the game. Same thing with a hamstring. My hamstring pulled trying to run from first to second because it was my birthday weekend, and I got drunk the night before, and I was dehydrated, and I didn't stretch, so that was my fault. You know, I was trying to do the right way, old school 70s, you know. Anyways, but when you're an athlete and this is your like this defines you, I get it. We all get it, and we all love it because you could be like, yeah, you know what? He's a true Raider. He ain't no punk. He went out there. He played hurt. But at some point, when it doesn't matter, and the games don't matter, I'd rather save you 100% for next season than you know, make that worse, because that's what happened with the ankle last year. He made it worse to the point where it was like I couldn't even walk no more. I'm gonna still go out there, unless
He had
Geno
an
Smith.
infection that almost killed him at one point.
Yeah, in his knee, the big old elephantitis knee he had. So
they talked about how he had to drain it before every game. Then they were draining it after the game. I mean, so yeah, and that bullshit about I had to talk him off of a ledge. Was he pissed off? Yes. Then he talks about how close they are. They truly love each other. All this shit. I mean, I think this is what I have to say to fucking Jay Glazer.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
I mean,
just wait.
Huh?
No, listen, just wait until Kay Adams gets a hold of it. We're gonna have a whole Kay Adams segment.
Is Crosby at the point of possibly wanting a trade? I could say yes. And it's probably more to do with the rebuild than him being shut down. Jay Glazer tried to put it like him and Max Crosby are so buddy. He's Max Crosby's daughter's my goddaughter, and we go out to dinner every Saturday. And dude, you're not that fucking close to Max Crosby. Okay? Don't fucking bullshit a bullshitter. I mean, come on. You have something, a little something. You want to do all this fucking talking, and go. I mean, it's just bullshit. Max Crosby may be traded. It can happen. There's a possibility. He may even ask for the trade.
That's what they're saying.
He may ask for the trade. But it's because of the bullshit he's been through for, 9 years now? 8 years?
Yeah, 9 years, yeah. I think he's going into 9.
Going into 9? And it's constant change. So, yes, he wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to go. We've even said it. Or, I mean, I have at least. We talked about the rebuild. And if that means trading away Max, then you trade away Max. I don't want to see it. I don't want it to happen. But Max has done enough for the team to do everything, showed loyalty, done everything that right now they were just talking about, Jay Glazer was talking about, we could get more for Max than the Cowboys got for Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I should have had
that helps the rebuild. It's about time to start, thinking about this and going. Max is a perfect piece to have, but if he's not happy, he's not happy. Okay? The news about Max is starting to interfere with season shit. Max ain't happy. He may get traded. All this shit. And we're halfway through a fucking season. Every offseason, it's a distraction. If Max wants to go, more power to him. Once a Raider, always a Raider. We'll always love Max Crosby. But I couldn't be mad at him. I couldn't.
And we've been through this. I would say that the Khalil Mack was more of a surprise to a lot of folks. I was like, okay, that's cool. He didn't want to come into training camp that year when. Yeah,
that was
a lot of
money.
And a lot of folks were upset about it.
And all of a sudden, I don't want to play for John Gruden.
Yeah, and a lot of folks were upset about it. But John Gruden did get two firsts for it. Now, Micah Parsons, what was that? That was a 2 first, the player. They got the D tackle from them. But I mean, Max Crosby, and then sorry, I was looking at my other comments over here. Just like, wait. Everyone's going too fast. Raider Nation for life, and yeah. I'm trying to read the name.
That's so far.
I'm trying to read the name. I apologize. But hey, I know you're new. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I remember all these faces. He says a clear cap space,
Yeah,
and
it was 2 first-round picks and a player. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
What I'm just saying is that it'll clear that room off the books, add more to the off-season spending because we need it. We need that extra money. Hey, just up. Thank you very much. Hey, I wish I had a. Do we have a? We don't have a special bell, so I'm gonna just do this.
We should.
When we get the new system.
No.
No.
No. Not the gong. That's a bad thing.
No. We're trying to change things, okay? So that's what we're trying to do. But yeah, they'll clear off space. And then, well, like you said, the distraction every year. K Adams is going to enter the chat. Watch. Oh, Max Crosby. How you doing? Bat my eyes, bat my eyes, bat my eyes. I just want the players to be, loved and hugged and be cared for. And that's all I care about. Like my buddy, the other Adams, that we don't talk about him either because he faked an injury to leave the Raiders. And now he lost to go to the Super Bowl because
my hamstring. Hold on, I got to get subbed out. My hamstring. Somebody else got to come in and do this for me. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So if and only Max wants to trade, honor it. However, no way, shape, or form do the Raiders owe him a severance package deal. His ass to the Broncos. I'm sorry, to the Browns for 2 number 1 picks. No one's above. You know what? I'm all for like, hey, okay, let's go then. You want to go, but I don't know if I want to pair him with Myles Garrett because then the Browns are going to come out of nowhere on that, especially on the defensive side.
And here, I mean, this is a good point here too. It could be a soft release.
Wait, Chappie Boss, are you subscribed? You look familiar. I think you've been on the show before, but just in case, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Sorry. Shameless plug.
I was just saying, it could be it could be a thing of getting the notion out there, but they really didn't need to do that because this is all we've heard for the last three or four fucking years about this trade.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the point of even having contracts? We're gonna turn into the NBA. Okay, I'll sub now. Yay, Jeppy. Thank you very much. We're gonna turn into the NBA. And then before you know it, the players are gonna pick their coaches, and it's gonna be one of those situations. And that's what I believe is kind of killing the NBA is that the players are not sticking around. Look at baseball. You don't even know who's on what team anymore. I'm an A's fan. I didn't watch a game this past season, plus because I hate the rule changes. Okay, I hate the stupid clock. You might like it, I don't know, but I hate the clock.
I don't get A's games out here, so.
They play in Sacramento, okay? A lot of folks weren't getting these games either.
When I can watch, I do watch. Otherwise, I don't get much.
But
this is different, though. I mean, I get where you're going with the contracts and everything. What's the point? You got to remember who started this whole, the whole free agency and everything else that's come along with it. All these trades that happen now. You no longer play for. It's rare to have a player be drafted and finish a career with a team. It's just rare. And when you're a bad team, such as the Raiders have been for 20 plus years, this kind of shit is what happens. Again, I don't want him to go. I think everybody could say that in Raider Nation. Nobody, well, except for maybe Jeff. He keeps saying, trade him, but nobody really wants him to go. But if he wants to go, this is the time to get the most out of it. You get, as we see, right? You retain $30 million. You only eat $5 million. You get 2 first-round draft picks plus
at least 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah. I mean,
depending on who you deal with.
Because the minute he starts on that decline, right? Then all of a sudden it's going to happen, and now you only get You get 2 second rounds in it. I mean, it is what it is. And I agree. He's probably the best NFL player, defensive guy in the NFL. He just hasn't had the supporting cast around him. He hasn't had anything go. And the constant changing in head coaches does not help the situation. Myles Garrett at least had the stability of, 4 or 5 years with Stefanski?
Yes. So,
and then look what he did. He went out and broke the sack record. I think Max Crosby could do that. But it's consistency. He's been through so many rebuilds. Does he really want to go through another one?
Yeah, and he was one of those guys that came out of nowhere, 4th round draft pick, was dedicated to the team because that was a team that gave him a chance. John Gruden is one that drafted him in 2019, so he is one of the last very few Oakland Raiders still left on the team. He's kind of like the Howie Long, because Howie Long was the last Oakland Raider until he retired in LA. So he was the last of the original Oakland Raiders until he retired in LA. Max Crosby, he embodies that, and especially like in the comments said that he can bounce around all through the defensive line. But it's like, I'm 50-50 emotionally. No, I don't want to lose Max Crosby. Come on, man. This is our shot. But then it's like, how many times have we said this every year? This is our shot. AP, come back. Oh, you see what he did in the last 9 games, 5-4. Let's go. This is our shot. And then after that,
Cowboys.
Huh?
We're starting to sound like the Cowboys. This is our year.
This is our boys. This is our year. And then we have Pete Carroll like, okay, old man strength. Let's go. This is our shot. We're gonna go. Oh, dang, all over the field. So I get it, and I don't have the screenshot of it, but everyone's talking about the tweet he put out that says something like something about a sail waiting for the perfect wind never sails. The autumn wind, hey. But basically, okay, I'll wait again. And so people are trying to decipher what he's trying to say, but it was something like that he said last year, and it all was going towards his surgery. So I'm just tired of the cryptic, that all these players are going to be all cryptic. Okay, you know what cryptics are for? It's for if you have an ex boyfriend or girlfriend on social media and you want to post these things to get their attention. Okay, that's what that's for. Okay, we're adults here. If you don't want to be on a team, it's fine. We don't hate you. We get it. We know. We're going to rebuild now. You're going into 9-10 years. We get it. You've been through the darkness, and you want to go. That's fine. But remember, though, he said, I don't want to be that. He said it last year. I don't want to be that guy that chases the ring. If you go to a team that's on the up and up, you're basically going to be chasing the ring. If you want to go to the Patriots, maybe it's because Spillane went over there, chase someone over there, look at what they're doing. You got a coach that, turned the team around after a couple seasons from Belichick's last winning season. So, okay, I want to go to New England. Okay, maybe it makes sense. Be with some guys you're familiar with and look at what they're doing. But now you're getting into that ring chasing thing. And that ring chasing thing is never guaranteed. Asylum, who do you got in the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's easy. Come on. That's easy. It's the Sea Chickens. The fingers crossed, hopefully, the next head coach of the Raiders. Of course I want that team to win.
And if the Patriots, let's say Patriots lose next year, okay, we're going to be fired up for next year. You know that we do have the Patriots next season away, back in their field. It could be a primetime game if Max Crosby's on the team, because that's what the NFL does. Let's make sure we put the primetime games in. They tried to do that with Micah Parsons and the Cowboys in another game, but then he ended up blowing out his knee, so he wasn't able to be in that game, Micah Parsons. But Max Crosby could be seeing the Raiders this this season if he goes to the Patriots. Now, it all depends on what the Patriots are willing to give. You know, what are they willing to pay for Max Crosby? My girlfriend's a big Bad Bunny fan. So the surround sound will be on when he plays. Took her to 2 concerts. You know, I like his music's cool. I like his music. I'm not gonna fake it. I'm not gonna fake it. But his music reminds me of Vegas, so I love Vegas. I'm not gonna get into the whole politics of behind it all. Okay, I'm just all about the music. All right, whatever. But we'll see what happens because, like you said, Asylum, this seems like every year it's new coach. Where's Max Crosby gonna go? New coach. Where's Max Crosby gonna go? We just signed a 2-year extension, and now we're having the same conversation again. But my thing is this: you signed that extension. You knew you were signing with the Raiders. You knew they had an old man named Pete Carroll that was going to be taking over the team and possibly only a 3-year window when a team that didn't even sniff the playoffs the year before. So same thing with Myles Garrett. He signed an extension, and I'm hearing that he's upset with the new coaching hire. But you signed the contract. Now, love Vegas in the 70s. I know I watched that movie Casino, and just like the Raiders, I always go back to the quote. I need to know the quote exactly, but like the Raiders now is like they said in the movie Casino. Back in the day, it was ran by gangsters and mob, it was by, his family basically. Now it's like Disneyland. Same thing with the Raiders. Back in the day, it was all, I don't want to say it was gangsters, but we if you know. But hardcore down, Oakland, LA, it was family. Now they're in Vegas. Now it's like Disneyland. Okay. The stadium's nice, but it's not the Coliseum. Okay. I'll go to the Coliseum. They could be doing frisbee golf championship. I'll still go to the Coliseum. Raiders. Look at me all crazy. But then I hear in the background, out of nowhere, Raiders. I'm all like, we're still here, baby. We are.
If you know, you know.
Here. If you know, you know. But Max Crosby, you're a Raider, but if this is going to be the thing every year where we're like, oh, hey, we can make it right. Come on, man, we can make it right. Yeah, no, drugs were everywhere and everyone was so high. Oh, yeah. The old Vegas, we're talking about. He's got his guarantee coin front loaded. These players are nothing but malcontents and prima donnas.
That was also the 60s, Ed. That was also the 60s. Not just in Vegas. I'm just saying the 60s total.
Crosby, go, man. He wants a ring. No more waiting. And lies for the guy. He's 28 years old, man. He will be 31. Nothing is promised. Just hope to get to 10-7. It's pathetic. Who does that? And hey, we all agree. We get it. NFL, not for long. That's what it stands for. He's now all them games where he never came out. He had that Cal Ripken type of where he was playing in every single play, every single game. And now those injuries, it's been 2 years in a row where he's been injured to the point where he's missed games.
And that's starting to become a thing.
Yeah, so
I'll keep an eye out, starting to get injury prone. It's that hard playing.
Yeah. I'm not going to fault a guy. If you want to go, that's fine. I'm not going to say if you want to go. Don't let the door. You know the phrase. But I'm just saying is, you signed a contract last year.
But yeah, there's that. But he's not like some people. He's going once a Raider, always a Raider. We can't, like you're saying, we can't blame him. And at the same time, and the chat's even saying it here. And go, if it's what you want, let's go ahead and go. Let's get what we can for him now. The situation, it's a rebuild. What happens during rebuilds? Even the best player on the team, sometimes the best player in the NFL. Remember Albert Hainsworth? The right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think Max is going to go lazy on the team that gets him, but I mean, it happens. You blow up a team and you go after. There could be another Max Crosby. There could be somebody better than Max Crosby in the draft. Imagine what you could do with that second first round pick this year, right?
Yeah. You could. I mean, you can take that second pick, that second first round pick, and trade it for more picks, or you can get someone to complement for Mendoza, one of his guys, whatever.
Offensive line or wide receiver, or fix the holes you have on defense.
Yeah. Anyone with 2 X's in their name needs to get traded. I'm trying to think who's the other ones. Anyone with 2 X's in their name. Well, hey, third one is a strikeout, right? This is the third season in a row where we're talking about it. Anyways, the Cowboys, speaking of the Cowboys, they did it at the start of their last little run. No, I'll say little run. They won like 3 Super Bowls. With the Johnson years. What was it? Herschel Walker. They traded him for a lot of people, and then they ended up was it Herschel Walker, right? Am I thinking the right guy, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he was their star running back. And then they traded him to Houston. No, wait, I'm way off. No, wait. No, wait, hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. Herschel Walker. Edward, can you correct me if I'm wrong? When the Cowboys, when Johnson took over, Jimmy Johnson took over, he traded away their star player, and they got a whole bunch of picks out of it. And Dallas fans were all upset, like, "Wait, that was our guy. He was Cowboy." And then, he said I was correct. Thank you very much. I know my history. And but then they turned it, and they also went like what 1-13 that year. They only won 1 game, and that's when they drafted first. They drafted the quarterback. He does the Monday night. He does the games now with Joe Buck. You know his name. No. The other one. Looks like a white Jay-Z. Okay, the one with the concussions. Why am I forgetting his name? The one that won the Super Bowls, his last one. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Oh, Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman. Oh, yeah, duh, I should know that. He was hurting all the time. Aikman. Anyways, so Aikman, they drafted him. They had a bad season his first year, rookie quarterback, and I want to say that was his first time coaching, his first year coaching too, for the Cowboys, coming from Miami College, University of Miami. And they made that trade, got picks, turned around, flipped it, got Michael Irvin, and they also got why am I forgetting these names? A running back. Went to the Cardinals, then he's on Dancing with the Stars, and that's what I'm talking about, the running back for the Cowboys. Went to the Cardinals. Hey, thank you very much. Edwards. You know what I'm talking about, the running back, okay? The running back. The big 3. Who?
Ezekiel Elliott?
No, way before him. He was like close to breaking. Oh, he broke Walter Payton's record.
I know who you're talking about, but now I'm drawing a blank.
I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about. 32. You know what I'm talking about. No, 22. 22. Yeah.
Yeah, Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith. There you go. I'm not a Cowboy.
My brain was just like, I know who you're talking about. It just did not want to fucking click on. It was like right there. The hamster was like just a little bit further.
I can see his number. I can see his face. I know where he went to. I know the record he broke. I know he was Dancing with the Stars. I just forgot his name. Emmitt Smith. There you go. They ended up building the big 3, and then they ended up winning 3 championships with 2 head coaches. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to hate Max Crosby. I remember when Tim Brown went to the Buccaneers, and I cheered when he got his 100th touchdown in Oakland. But, of course, that was Tim Brown at the end of his career. So I can't really compare that like that. But he won't be going out bashing the fans like some people have done, leaving the team. He won't be bashing the team like a lot of people have gone out, leaving the team. So it'll be a mutual breakup. It won't be easy because we're going to see Max Crosby in another uniform. It's going to look weird. I don't know, Salim. Let's do one last question. Well, let me ask you one last question, then we'll go do our picks for the Super Bowl. Which player? I didn't do mine yet. Okay, so whatever. Who's the one Raider that looked weird in the uniform after he left the Raiders? Like he was a long time big name Raider, and then when you saw him that following season and he's wearing a different jersey, and you're like, that don't look right. That don't look good.
Who? I mean, you go back. I mean, what do you got? I mean, Osmo didn't look good. You know,
yeah.
You know, you got Osmo. I mean, you go. Fuck, I had another name too. God damn it.
Woodson.
That's the one. Yeah, Woodson. You know, I mean, I know he got a Super Bowl with Green Bay, but still, you know, I didn't like seeing that one. Kirk Morrison wasn't in another jersey, but just seeing him. No, he was too. Kirk Morrison went to another twos.
Kirk Morrison went to Buffalo. Kirk Morrison went to Buffalo.
I mean, you bring up Buffalo.
Filippiano. Filippiano with the Bills.
Yeah, Filippiano. That's who I was going.
Matuzak. But didn't Matuzak in with the Raiders?
Other jerseys to us.
Yeah, no. I mean, like a Raider, like a drafted Raider. Was a Raider.
I was saying I was answering Ed's thing. They went other jerseys to us.
Yeah.
I don't remember them going from us to another team afterwards.
I mean, I wasn't around at the time, but seeing pictures of Stabler in a Oilers jersey, in a Saints jersey, seeing George Atkinson in a Broncos jersey, Jack Tatum in a
Tatum in an Oilers jersey.
Tatum in an Oilers jersey. I'm trying to think of my era. You said some most of them. The Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson was like 6 years. That he was drafted in 99. He left in like 2004. 98. He was drafted in 98. 2004. About 6 years. Greg Beekert, but he was at the end of his career when he went to go to Minnesota, when the Raiders traded him to Minnesota. Greg Beekert. We haven't really had a lot because we had a lot of veterans that we took from other teams to try to build that last roster that went to the playoffs. But I don't know. I know Ed, like he was like the names he was saying, guys like Stabler in a new uniform, guys like Atkinson and Tatum in new uniforms, guys like I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of like big names. Villapiano with the Bills, and so it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird, So
it is.
Hey, even Derek Carr with the Saints, I guess is a good one. Derek Carr with the Saints, that was weird to see. So, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But before the draft, so that means that we will go and see how leading up into. I went to the first Raider game at Kezar Stadium in 1960 against the Houston Oilers. Old school. Wait, what about Frankie's Field? Did you go to Frankie's Field? I want to know exactly where that's at off of 880. Just would be like, it's right here, and it's like it's part of the high street swap meet over there, right by the Coliseum, the flea market. But yeah, it's gonna be weird, and we're gonna see what happens leading up to free agency to see how the Raiders play this. If they start getting a lot of defensive guys like defensive ends or something, maybe that's a tell right there to see what the Raiders are gonna do when it comes to Max Crosby. I know what you mean. When it comes to Max Crosby wanting out, and maybe now it's more serious. Of course, it's gonna be a big story. And like I said, we're gonna wait to see when Kay Adams enters the chat. If she wants to go and have exclusive interviews with Max Crosby. Oh, hey Max, how are you doing? It's me. I'm here to help you find a new team because I want to make sure that you're all warm and cuddly inside with my love, and hope that I can take you somewhere that you want to be, like I did with Devontae. Yeah. Anyways, if she does, I have a segment. I'll make a segment for her. I'll make a segment for her. Okay, the devil. She is the devil. All right,
devil.
The devil. Okay, Super Bowl. Okay, Super Bowl, and we'll finish. Okay, you said the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks because it's kind of personal, more so because it's just funny how the Seahawks get rid of Pete Carroll. Now, that was year before, but they get rid of Pete Carroll, and then they trade away Geno Smith. We both pick up. I don't want to be mean. They're trash, but I don't want to be mean. And then all of a sudden, they're on their way to the Super Bowl to play the Patriots and it's funny, Asylum, don't give these rumors life. What's up, Vincent? It's funny how it's going to be a rematch of the Super Bowl that Pete Carroll decided to pass the ball instead of run the ball. There's a lot of little things. That's why people are like, "Oh, it's a script."
How fitting would it be for the Seahawks to win it on the last score with the running back with running the ball to get into the end zone?
And they beat the. They're like, we're not going to do what the last guy did.
Hey, Pete, this is how you're supposed to do
it. You're going to see Beast Mode over there taking pictures on the sideline. Hey, it's just funny how the way it works. And I know they're talking about how this whole thing is scripted because the poster, and I don't have the poster, but the poster of the Super Bowl has the two quarterbacks in the Super Bowl up in front, like up in the front of the line, which is Drake May and Sam Darnold, and up in the front of the line. So folks are all like, see, we told you it's scripted. Well, Raiders go and they take Pete Carroll and they take Geno Smith, and then all of a sudden the Seahawks are going into the Super Bowl to face the team that they could have beaten the Super Bowl 10 years ago against the Patriots when they should have ran the ball with beast mode 2 yards away with two timeouts, just under the 2-minute warning. They had the time to at least run a play. So I'm going for the Seahawks because to show how stupid the Raiders were to get Pete Carroll and to get Geno Smith, because you just unlocked the magic for Seattle to go to the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter now whether they win or lose because we're going to get our coach after. Knocking on wood. But I'm just saying that I'm going for the Seahawks, and I'm going to apologize every time I say it to Sign Guy because he was right. Asylum, who was worse, Jamarcus Russell or Geno Smith?
C, both.
All of the above.
I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, I guess you're going to have to go Geno Smith because Jamarcus won more games for the Raiders.
He had more seasons, though.
Hey, hold on. That wasn't the question. Doesn't go. Okay. Geno Smith could have easily beaten Jamarcus on wins in one season and fucking couldn't. Okay? So it's either C, both, or it's Geno because he got because Jamarcus has more wins than Geno as a Raider.
Boom. Oh man, 2 middle fingers in the air to Geno Smith from Sign Guy. I apologize, Sign Guy. I hope you get a ring because you were right. You told us the truth in that very first preseason game. I was there. I didn't see the sign though. I was actually on the section over, but behind him, so I didn't see the sign. I could have walked over there, but I didn't know about it until after the game was over that there was a guy that had that sign and they were all flipping him off. Yeah, how dare you? You're right, Sign Guy, and I hope that you get a ring. You get a ring for telling us the truth. You saw you knew, you saw it firsthand. You were warning us. You were warning us like Matt Millen tried to warn Al Davis to not draft Jamarcus Russell, but we didn't listen. Some of us knew, some of us didn't. I try to drink the Kool-Aid because I'm all like, I got no choice, drink the Kool-Aid, whatever. But I believe this upcoming season with the new head coach, when he signs, knock on wood, that with the way the team is right now, it's stripped to its core where they can't spend the money. They can't get players to add on now and to make a leap in this season. So am I making the new batch of Kool-Aid? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. They haven't sold anything to me yet, so maybe I am just getting ready, add a little tequila, add whatever to make the pain numb. But I think the Raiders have a good shot at least making a quantum leap to relevancy. It took John Gruden 2 seasons. In his 3rd season, he got to the playoffs on a 12-4 year in his first stint. So I don't know, Sodom. I'm just let's just start. Let's just build it from the ground up. Okay. New OEMs. Okay. New parts. Let's strip it down. It's already stripped down, and let's go from there and let's get ready for the new season because this season's over after this weekend. And it's back to the grind of who we're going to get in free agency and who we're going to draft. We all know who we're going to draft. But are the Raiders going to Raider, or are they going to actually do what everyone? I don't know. Just get it right. That's what I say. Just get it right. Seahawks will lose for sending Geno Smith to the Raiders. That would be funny. We finally got rid of Geno Smith. We're going to the Super. Oh, and then Geno Smith is last, and then he retires. I don't know. We'll see. I just hope it's not on our team next year because it could be a good chance that he is on our team because of the slight tie, even though they never was on the same team together. He was ready to coach him. Kubiak was ready to coach Geno Smith before Raiders made that move, and he brought Geno Smith in here. All right, that is our show. Asylum. We want to thank everyone. We got a huge turnout this one, so we appreciate it. And like I said, I'm sorry for what happened on Saturday. It was a mess. The event live there in the bar went well, but oh my God. They said if I didn't have hair, I would have lost it all. And I told the guy who told that to me, you didn't see me when I walked in. I had a full head of hair.
Out for the year because of that Achilles or whatever. ACL. He's going to go back up. He's going to go start for the Chiefs if that happens. Sorry, it was a comment here.
Going the Minshew route, huh? But that is our show. Asylum, do you have any final words? Whatever.
Let's just see how things play out. Everyone enjoyed the commercials and the Super Bowl because, the commercials are half the reason why we watch it. The other half is, to usually hate on a team. Enjoy that. We'll get our news if we got our head coach. And from that point, start keeping an eye on news and keep an eye on the cage match because hopefully things are going to start rapid firing, come rolling downhill. There's going to be a lot of work being done. And we'll be here to give it to you guys.
Yes. Puppy Bowl or Bad Bunny?
Puppy Bowl.
Nah, we're going to be watching Bad Bunny because I like the music. I like the music. I know the music. I went to two of his
I'm
concerts.
sure my wife will too.
Yeah, and it's gonna be it's gonna be on the surround sound here. So, yep. I don't. Outside everything else, I like it. The music is nice. I like the music. I'm not gonna lie.
And
I
I
love
agree.
hey, you know,
Puppy
the
ball.
Boricua. So, that is our show. We want to thank everybody for watching the show. We'll see what happens in the Super Bowl, and if we're gonna have a Super Bowl winning coach coming in, or a guy who wants to hurry up and get us back there as head coach of the Raiders, going against these coaches in the AFC West. He will be the longest tenured, I can tell you that much, because Andy Reid, old. He's probably going to retire after next year. Sean Payton, I'll give him like 4 years, Sean Payton, and then same thing with the Harbaugh Jim. So whatever. All right. My monster's puppy bowl. All right, that was our show. I want to say to everybody good night. Be safe in the Super Bowl. You know, if you can watch it at home, you know, do whatever you want. If you're gonna be somewhere else, be safe. Don't drink and drive. Yeah. And all that other stuff. Okay. Dubby. Shout out to Dubby. All right. Take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you on. Oh yeah, no, I'll talk to you after Edward. I'm not Edward. Sorry, I saw Edward's comment. I'll talk to you after Asylum. So they might. Well, yeah. So see you on Wednesday. Peace out and take care and have a good evening. Peace out.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight again. I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.